We have arrived at Ayers Rock Campground and set up here. We've got a large site right next to the toilet block, so that's pretty convenient. There's a couple of washing machines in that toilet block area, which is great if you need to use big washers. It's a large van park, a couple hundred sites. It has a pool. There's a few basic supplies at the front reception. The only thing which is a bit disappointing is there's no dump site. It's the first caravan park I've come across without a dump site. That's about 6 or 7 kilometres down the road at the industrial area. And later on this evening we will take a walk to the viewing platform and see Ayers Rock a little bit closer up this time, hopefully. So this is the park entry sign to get into the national park. So to the right you go if you want to buy a ticket. We've already bought our tickets online, so we'll go to the left and just check in with your barcoded ticket on your phone. We have arrived at the rock and we've started our push bike expedition around the outside. As you can see, Brad's taking off there. There's quite a bit of areas that you can't actually take photos or videos because it's a sacred site. It's quite early in the morning, just after 7. We kicked off on this bike ride and the flies are super friendly. What do you think so far?
It's exhausting, this bike riding.
Exhausting. Are you exhausted from this riding? I saw you nearly fell off a few times.
I haven't got any training wheels. Well, I'm getting there.
We pop in for a look around and learn about the Afghan cameleers and their role in opening up the outback. We join a Field of Lights tour and watch the sunset, have some drinks and nibblies, and then walk through the Field of Lights. This is the town square. It's got an IGA, some gift shops, a central garden area, some cafes, a post office, hair and beauty shop, some art shops, a t-shirt shop, lots of things to see and do down here. The lawn gallery. We were here the other day and they had Indigenous women doing paintings for sale. So I was hoping that they come back so I can buy one.
And I'm selling this painting to this lovely lady. This is all about the women go out hunting. They get witchetty grub. What's this? We get wild tomato, wild bananas, wild berries, but we eat these all the time. And honey ants, they're lovely, nice and sweet. And this is the water hole, and they all come in, the water comes in like that. And these are all the ladies. How I'm sitting like that. Like that. Oh, that's right.
Lovely, thank you. Charmaine.
I wrote my name down.
So, nearly all
These are the. We've got stories about us like when we go out bush, when we collect tucker at bush.
Nearly all of the paintings have the people.
All the
gathered,
ladies, yes.
All gathered.
That's all the ladies.
Yep.
Sitting around. Like them there.
Yeah.
That's the seven sisters. And one man this side, look. This is Seven Sisters.
What is Seven Sisters? It
Seven
comes up a lot.
Sisters is a love story. One man is looking for love. And he follow them ladies, but he can't get them. He can turn into a tree or a dog or something to get close to them girls, but they keep moving. They was on Earth moving this way, and I don't know what happened. They went up in the stars, and you see him night time? Near the saucepan. You have a look up top, you see a saucepan, and you see a little group of little stars, that's them there.
Seven Sisters?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Good.
There's a variety of accommodation options from less expensive to more expensive, from the emu apartments through to the sales. The Gallery of Central Australia, where you can do a free walkthrough and a talk, open daily. Lots of lovely things in there to buy, paintings and stuff. The Arakani Theatre is where you can watch a free daily movie. They have different movies on at different times throughout the week. Each resort has its own restaurant, but you're welcome to dine at any restaurant you like. You don't have to dine at the restaurant where you are staying. And most of the resorts have their own swimming pools. And the same again there, you can swim at any pool in the area that you like. And the auditorium where they hold free shows about interesting things. Today we're going to do the Digeridoo show.
way they played it. Okay? Now my one's eucalyptus, $5,000 later. This is the best way I can explain it to you. 100,000 sold, most unplayed instrument in the world. We were saying this to a country called Please Explain. So I'm trying to explain it the best way I can. It's going to sound Humpty Dumpty, okay, but could they put Humpty Dumpty together again? No, they couldn't.
There's some seeds, there's some other things as well, kind of like these dry rubs and shrubs. You can all touch, feel and sniff them after the talk when you guys get to come down and join me. But I also have some lovely quandong and ginger jam for you guys as well. And clearly I have not made enough, so I'm going to have to cook up a few bit more in the back there. But now that's done, I'll introduce myself. Palia, my name's Mac. I'm a Kamilaroi Menandangi woman out from Queensland, New South Wales areas. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that we are gathered upon today, being the Ananu. I'd like to extend that out to a thank you to them as well for allowing us to share and learn their culture here today. And I'd also like to extend a big thank you out to you guys as well for also wanting to come out and learn this wonderful culture. So thank yous all for joining me here today. A lot of their meat cuts or a lot of the animals that they'll be looking for will be hiding and located underneath the ground for that one. Especially their two large reptiles out here. Their sandgoanna, known in Pitjantjatjara as tinka, and their large parenti, which is known in Pitjantjatjara as ningtaka. Now these guys, these goannas or the parenti, for a fact that parenti, he can go up to about 2.5 meters long. He can run up to speeds of 40 kilometers per hour, and he's got toxic glands on the side of his throat. So if you guys are going out to Uluru and you see a nice little interesting hole in the ground, I wouldn't suggest putting your fingers or your phones in it, only because a snake, spider or that big large parenti might just bite your finger off, guys. And we don't want yous getting a free trip to Alice because we're much closer to a space station in the sky than we are to that town. So system of the witchetty bush, he kind of looks like this. But what they're looking for is a nice disturbed or a little hole kind of in the ground there. If you want to pass that one guys around. There you go. So they'll look for like a little hole at the bottom of this bush, basically directing into that root system. That's that indication that a huge cosset moth has come along. She can grow up to about the size of my hand, even bigger, and she'll lay her larvae just at the top of that soil there. They'll start to dig their way down into that root system. Unlike Queensland and New South Wales areas, you can extract these guys almost all year round up in Queensland, New South Wales, but out here, they can only get it after that nice pour of rain. So when that nice pour of rain comes along, she's left her larvae there. The Ananu will then start looking at these trees, looking for that hole in the ground. They'll start digging into that root system. Once they expose that root system and they find a big, large notchet, that's an indication that there's a big witchetty grub in there. So they'll then use a sharp rock or quartz to slice open that root, peel back that barking layer, and then they'll use a hook-like stick to go in, try and wrap that grub around it, and then yank him out. The size of these grubs, these guys grow much larger than you'll find them in New South Wales and Queensland. The grubs out here, they grow up to about 2 to 3 fingers thick, nearly the same size of my hand too, so they're pretty big. Not only that, they say about one of these grubs contain about 17 grams of protein, so that's a lot of protein out here for the Ananu. But these guys are probably more interested about how they taste. Well, that's alright, I hope these guys are ready. When they're raw, they have a bit of a nuttery buttery taste, they're not too bad, they're alright. But you have to be careful when chewing these guys. Great way to teach the young kids to make sure you chew your food properly, guys, because if you don't chew one of these witchetty grubs, you'll have a big grub just stuck in your throat trying to wiggle his way down, so making sure you chew properly for that one. But if you don't want it wriggling, it's okay, these guys can have it cooked, but it has a bit of an acquired taste to it. They say it's a combination between a fried egg mix with the scrambled egg, chuck a little nutmeg on it, sprinkle some dirt on top, and that's what you get for your cooked witchetty rub. So if you guys like that one, go right ahead. But you still aren't safe. There's one more other thing you have to worry about. It's the head on these guys. If you chew that head, I'm sure it probably tastes fine, but that's where everything's located. So you have the brains, the poop, pretty much everything. They also dig with their mouths, so you probably get a bit of a wood taste with that one as well. So if you don't want that head, just bite it off and spit it out, and you'll be right.
Morning.
The flies are really, really friendly. So the hair nets are on. So we've arrived at Kata Tjuta, or the Olgas, and we're starting off with the Valley of the Winds walk. It's not very far, I don't think. Look at all the flies, they're everywhere. Did you have a shower last night?
Yep.
Up the rock surface like a goat. That is one seriously high gorge wall. Those rocks here have fallen down from up there somewhere. They're massive. to the right.
We've even got a roundabout. Dinner there for our anniversary the other night. Quite nice. Medical centre, police station.
If you need to go to hospital out here, you can't. There isn't one. They fly you to Alice Springs. And I'm guessing if you need to go to jail, there isn't one out here either. You'll need to go to Alice Springs.
Fire station. We're packing up in the morning, heading to Kings Canyon and Ellery Creek. It's been pretty good here. Probably don't come here if you like sleeping in. Sunrise is around 7, the noise starts around 4:30, 5 o'clock. Everybody gets ready to go out, see the sunrise viewing over the different rocks. Other than that, it's pretty good.
It is. It has been great. I've really enjoyed it here. See you in the next episode.
Very rude.
Bye.